speed, the data rate. We're talking about first generation, basically there is only voice, no data. You move to second generation, we move from analog to digital. We have both analog and we have circuit switch, packet switch for voice and data. Data is a low speed at that time. We have GPRS, 100, maybe 100 kilobit, and then you move to H, 340 kilobit. Then you move to 3G. 3G, you are talking about multimedia, 2 megabit. Then from there, you move further to HSPA, talking about maybe 14 megabit and HA plus to 28 megabit and so on. And move further to 4G, we're looking into even 100 megabit. And we're looking into the LTE-A, in 4G, they are talking about what we call 1 gigabit. They mean they are setting 1 gigabit for low mobility and 100 megabit for high mobility, meaning that when you are here, you can receive the internet at 1 gigabit. But when traveling at a fast rate, 300 kilometers per hour, connection to internet has to be 100 megabit. So we can see that moving 2G, 3G, 4G, all talking about broadband, increasing the speed. But when you come to 5G, one of the things in terms of broadband is enhanced further. You go to from 1 gigabit, you are looking into at least 10 gigabit. So today, you will see in the next room that you can demonstrate that 5G, we are using currently can go up to 18 gigabit, which means more than what been set by ITU. And we are looking into, that's one aspect of that. And second thing, we are looking into the latency. First generation latency, basically you are talking voice only. Second generation, voice you have to go to circuit switch, data go to packet. Why? The latency is higher. You not possible to have voice over IP during that time. When you move to 4G, LTE, the latency reduced further to 10 milliseconds. Then you have voice over LTE on IP. Okay? Your ear can tolerate with that delay. But what happened in 5G? The 5G is looking into beyond that, 1 millisecond. Because you are talking about other application. For example, remote surgery require 1 millisecond. You require like zero distance, very, okay? And then like autonomous car. Those are the example of the critical mission. Beside 5G could give a capacity. And beside that also, another aspect they are looking at in the spectral efficiency. You move 1G FDMA, one channel, one carrier. Move to 2G, you have time slot, TDMA. Improve further the efficiency. By having a given spectrum, you can get more. But when you, to get higher speed, that what I mentioned just now, you need, with 3G, you need to move CDMA. Using the code division multiplexer. That can provide more user within the given spectrum. But beyond that, to go 4G to get 100 megabit, 1 gigabit, you have to do OFDM, the technology used. And they have to do carrier aggregation to get more bandwidth. Okay, so those are the example. When it comes to 5G, of course, we are looking into more than that. With that, we can see here, let's take the standard. 1G, as we know, just for mobility in voice. You are talking about standard, is country standard. UK have one standard, X system. Here we have like Alto 450 at that time, ART 900. You move to second G, global, not global, the regional standard, GSM European standard, US different. But when it comes to 3G, besides having a broadband, higher speed, they are also looking into the global standard. That's why ITU is coordinating that. That one they call IMT 2000, standardized by ITU, Working Party 5E, and so on. And it moved further to 4G. 4G again, they set another criteria that you need to have what I mentioned to you, 1 gigabit low mobility, 100 megabit high mobility. But when it comes to 5G, you're looking into one of the things is enhance the broadband. That's one thing. That's why they're talking about 10 gigabit. Even the second thing, you're looking more than that. That means, for example, latency, I mentioned, reduced to 1 millisecond. Okay, and then those are the example, and of course capacity. So with that, we are looking into this. From 4G, you are looking into 1 gigabit, for example. But remember, 1 gigabit, you require 100 megahertz of bandwidth. You require 8 by 8 more at the base station. Okay, for that case. To get 100 megahertz in the LTE, LTEA, in the case, you have to carry aggregation below 6 gigahertz. You move further to 4G, 5G, need 10 gigabit. I think you need more spectrum one to enhance further. Besides integrating other things, when you're talking about 5G, looking into here, IoT become part of it. Integrating become a standard, and we're looking into this sort of thing. They say that maybe 29 or 25 billion connected devices will happen. As we know, our population, world population, may be around 7 billion. So which means that 1/3 of surrounding us are things connected to the internet. So we need to have a very massive. Besides, we have the download speed of 10 gigabit per second, latency of 1 millisecond, and so on. Okay, and it should be ultra reliable. So those are the things. Which means that this thing, you can see that it need to have capacity. You see the capacity from here can come only according to Shannon law, only from 3 capacity. One is from bandwidth. You need more bandwidth. For more bandwidth, there is no spectrum available at below 6 GHz. That's why at first stage they are looking into above 6 GHz. They're looking into the millimeter wave band there. Okay. Second thing, we need to have the good signal to noise ratio. That means you must be always close to the base station. The pin has to be. So that's why in the 5G they're looking into small cell. Maybe the cell is only up to 200 meters. And again, there should be a massive MIMO. LTE, LTE-A together, they are talking about 8x8. But you can see in the next law, the antenna that we have massive MIMO. They have a 8x8, 64. There are 4 panels there. These 4 panels, one side, they have 64, 64, and so on. They are called massive. No more 8x8 and the advantage that they have low, higher band. In millimeter, the antenna is small. First, I want to see what happened below 6 GHz, that current one. Because 2020 will be 5 years or from now. But from now to that, what are the requirements? You see now, currently in Malaysia, we have, this is the spectrum being allocated to the mobile operator. You have 900, 1800, 2.1, 2.3 in WiMAX, and also 2.6. Besides, we have a YB there, right? So these are the things, that spectrum that we have currently before we move to the 5G. And I think what I read from the Ericsson Mobility Report, it's mentioned that from now to 2005 to 2020, you can see that the broadband data will be increasing exponentially. Why? Maybe I think the first thing, there are 2 things that might happen. One thing, you know that the rural area, remote area, now they start changing from normal phone to the smartphone, where you require more data and so on. And the second, you can see maybe the data package of say 2 gig or below 1 gig decline. People more moving to higher data rate and so on. And with that, you see the data broadband will be increasing exponentially from that. Increasing broadband, you mean you need to have spectrum. If you see the spectrum that you have below 6 GHz there, you can only, 2 things can happen there when you get more. One is to do to use the digital dividend band. It's coming maybe, I don't know, 2018 or not, there will be closure of analog, then 700 MHz is available. With 700 MHz, maybe you will only have about 90 MHz over there for the mobile. Another point is maybe 1.4, 1.5. But I think another spectrum that might be available is 3.5. But I think in Malaysia may be very sensitive issue for 3.5 because of the satellite. But there are a lot of spectrum there. 200, maybe about 200 MHz. Another thing we can do is basically, if you see that some country in like Australia and also Singapore, maybe by 2020, by that time they are phasing out the 2G. Because when you're looking into the lower band, like 850, 900, 1800, the advantage that you have a wide coverage, or 700 even wider. But if you can use that spectrum with 3G or 4G, you can have better spectral efficiency. You are looking into, I give you an example that data that we given for LTE. You get LTE for a given bit per second per hertz, go up to 30. Comparing even with LTE, half of that 16. If you compare with the 2G, for example, GSM only 0.17, which means at the lower band 900 MHz, if you can use the 4G LTE, then you can have more spectrum. With the same spectrum, you can provide more more data rate and more higher. This might be possible to happen, right? So these are something that we have to think about where you talking about before 5G is coming in 2020. Okay, move further to the 5G. You are looking into what been specified in Resolution 238 WRC 15. They are looking further for spectrum in 5G between 24 to 86. These are the potential band that we use in 5G, and I think will be decided later when they have WRC for 2019. By that time, they will be. So one of the potential band that we're using in 5G, we're looking is 28 gigahertz. We are looking, a lot of countries looking on that. And the system that we have here for the demonstration of 5G is 28 gigahertz. That's why we apply AA to the MCMC to be able for us to demonstrate. And this system we are talking about 5G, it covers 800 megahertz, which is 800 of bandwidth. Okay, we did that. And we can see that what we will be showing here, maybe it will be elaborated further later, but one of the things is to show the throughput. ITU, in the vision when they set the standard, they are looking into 10 gigabit, but what we can be achieved here with me is up to 18 or 19, I think that one thing. Second thing is the latency. We also be demonstrating here, the latency means the round trip, where I mentioned that LTE maybe more than 10 because you can do voice over IP, but in 5G you're required to have 1 millisecond, because 1 millisecond very critical. Are you talking about the remote surgery? You are talking about car without driver and so on. The latency is very important. So here we can demonstrate